This is Astro Bot. We're here on PlayStation 5. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is really just an absolutely lovely, grand, and just generally awesome 3D platformer. It was originally a game in terms of being a bit of a tech demo that was bundled with the PlayStation 5 at launch, and they've essentially blown that out into a full immersive gaming experience that I think is just really a bundle of joy and a ton of fun to play. This game is incredibly creative. Every step of the way is filled to the brim with unique concepts, ideas, and different ways to play and take on the challenges that are present within. So this is a game that I think is really great for all types of audiences. Anyone can jump in and have just an absolutely lovely and marvelous time. But there is a little bit of an edge of difficulty too, but I don't think it's anything that can't be conquered or figured out by any type of audience out there. And it's just this really genuinely lovely, beautiful game. Every little part of this is just filled with passion, design, and a focus to create something that is just really a wondrous experience, and something that is like a very passionate dive into the history of PlayStation. It really is something that is quite magical and celebrates gaming and really celebrates the history that PlayStation has had in regards to its impact on the industry and the games that have been supported on it from first party to third party. It really is just quite a love letter to PlayStation gaming. It's really, really quite wonderful. From the little PlayStation coins you collect, to the characters that are introduced as various bots that you're trying to save, to the fact that you literally fly in on a massive PlayStation 5 ship and are, ooh, that was close, essentially trying to rebuild the ship. Because yeah, you literally, the opening sequence is you fly in, you're on this big PS5 ship, you've got your hundreds of astrobots that are with you on this ship. They all get separated, and you have to go around attempting to find them and collect them, and that's the whole core gameplay loop, and it is a wonderful time at that. And as I was saying, every single level is just wondrous in terms of its theme. This one is very kind of like an introductory aquatic setup, and there's ones where it's a bit of a cool desert, and every level kind of has a little bit of an influence in regards to what it is sort of based on or focused around, and that in itself is really just quite wondrous and quite lovely to take in. And then you get these really, really cool thematic levels, like say one based on Ape Escape, where you're trying to collect apes that have escaped obviously from Ape Escape. And then there's a God of War, and there's one for Uncharted, and there's all these cool different areas where again it feels so much like this great love letter to everything that is PlayStation. It's kind of genuinely amazing and super fun to play. How did I miss that? So yeah, you're going around collecting these bots, and if you don't get them the first time, it's actually super easy, because if you have the coinage, you can basically buy this bird thing, and the bird thing will tell you where all of the collectibles are. So it's actually not a pain to collect and go back and actually gather things that you missed the first time through, which can be a problem in some collectathons, is having to go and find things that you're missing. This game makes it a lot more, I guess you would say, accessible and fun to actually work on in terms of gathering stuff. Oh, that flamingo is a bit of a pain, isn't it? And that I found really, really quite intriguing, is that it wasn't too difficult to actually sit here and gather everything that we want. But I will mention, there we go, I got it, that there is some level of, perhaps based on your skill and your collectabilities, basically some gating in terms of being oh, I need to, get X amount of astrobots saved in order to get to the next area. It came up once or twice, and it didn't take me more than several minutes to go back and gather some extra, I guess you would say bots and stuff like that. So it really wasn't a pain at all, and I think regardless, you'll probably want to be gathering those various astrobots just because it's fun to do. Now, what are we getting here? Why am I struggling with this? Okay, up, there we go. So it's like a dynamic 4K. I think it's something like 1900p or something like that. It's super crisp, sharp, visually beautiful. 60 FPS. I didn't notice any sort of performance issues at all. This kind of just flawlessly runs and just kind of looks beautiful the whole way through. I also love the element of like immersion with the controller. It was a little like when I first played the Astro Bot thing with the PS5, which I think most people kind of did, like the original thing. You know, you kind of just checked it out because it came with your console, and it was a showcase as to save what like the controller could do, and it felt like, again, a tech demo, and it was a little gimmicky. You know, they got that codfish AI technology. Anyways, yeah, it was a little, to a degree, kind of, how did I miss this character? Seriously? Wow, that is embarrassing. And it was kind of like a little bit of a silly gimmick thing here or there. But this feels like they've totally taken those concepts and have fully, like, dove in and fleshed out those concepts to something that is just really, really quite a wondrous sort of adventure. They, yeah, just kind of nailed this game the whole way through. It is a pleasure to play and a lot of fun. And there is a lot of, I can't believe I missed that. There's a lot of content to this game, a lot of levels. Crazy bosses where there's a weird focus on, like, hitting the eye of like, the bosses, which is kind of funny. It's really, really quite interesting. And then there's, like, this main hub world where all your little astrobots are. And they got, like, this gacha kind of machine where you use your coinage in order to essentially, like, basically buy, like, extra, because you're saving both labeled characters and then, like, non-labeled astrobots, and then the gacha thing will give you access to, like, more different types of unique characters from the different universes. And yeah, it just really is quite magical. And then talking further about the element of the controller, a lot of this is the sound. Now, I had to turn down the sound on the controller a ton because it literally is too loud to think and to a review at the same time. Like, it just psychologically was like, I can't focus because the controller is, like, really loud. But it's super immersive because you feel things. Like, you feel the water with the vibration, the haptics, and you hear the water with your controller, and you really feel more immersed than you do in many, many other games. Or if it's raining, you can feel the pitter-patter of it, or you can hear the rain going by, or when you're smashing things, you hear things breaking and clanking and being damaged. And yeah, it's just kind of amazing, the setup for that. I think they really genuinely created something interesting. Is there something hidden here? I think there is. I think there is something hidden here. So yeah, like, a big part of this game, as odd as that sounds, is not just, like, I guess you would say the feeling of the controller, but also the audio of the controller. And that's not something I typically feel when I'm playing the games, because I usually find, like, the audio from the controller thing a little annoying and a little, like, gimmicky, and then it's like, it just really feels like it's perfectly used in this game. Like, it just really feels like a natural, great part of the experience in terms of the immersion and really feeling like this actually feels like a step up from gaming that I don't think competitors in the gaming space would be able to do, because the controllers lack the sort of concept and design that this one has. Like, it really does feel like a proper current gen game in the most spectacular of ways. Like, it's so adorable. It's so cute. It's so fun. It's completely immersive in every metric. And I'm just kind of amazed by this. I'm genuinely hoping that, like, this is the start of, like, a brand new, like, I don't know, hero and or kind of like primary character for place, like a mascot. I'm really hoping this starts like a new, like every glass piece here makes like sound on the controller, which again I hope you can't really hear because it might sound a little annoying if that's the case. Maybe you hear everything. Maybe you put that, some of that picks up so you can hear some of it. Because like I don't want you to like it's so hard to really, I don't know how to describe this. It's really hard to convey what exactly I'm kind of like hearing, because it's hard to capture the audio of like in the game, and I don't know how that kind of sounds to you listening to just like the game being captured, and I hope that's kind of conveyed properly to you without it sounding too silly or weird or anything like that. But it really is just kind of like this full immersion and immersive experience that like I don't think many other games do anything close to. It's amazing what they're able to do. Can I leave the planet? Oh no, we want to see the vortex. Okay, never mind. There's special vortexes on every level too. And I just really want to get across how interesting this game is from like a technical standpoint, from something that actually feels like a current gen experience, because so few games kind of like give you that vibe and that feeling, and they just kind of truly nailed it. I'd love to see more games kind of like take advantage of this tech like this, or more games kind of have this like love and care and style, and I hope this becomes a mascot for the PlayStation. Like I hope we get more Astro Bot stuff. I can't get enough of this. And I hope we get, because it's just so cute, so adorable. Every little part of this game is just so lovely. And I hope we get maybe a renaissance of like 3D platformers. I've just been sitting here for almost years, it feels like, waiting for like a big 3D platformer spike to happen, where we just get like a ton of like new 3D platformers would be great. Like seeing old favorites kind of come back, and I'm hoping Astro Bot could be thanked for bringing that back into play. I think that would be really, really quite cool. But yeah, I can't say more than enough good things about this game. Like, and I hope you're getting, like, seeing this. Just the creativity where every single level has something different going on. This level is themed around you becoming a giant creature because you soak up stuff, but sometimes you've got a pack that allows you to, like, blast into the air. Other times you've got these giant hands that you can use to like smack things, and it's all different. Each of the levels kind of does its own little thing with little bits of reoccurring stuff, but it always feels fresh and different. I just don't know how they were able to like create something so diverse and unique for every step of the way with just this adorable selection of things. And there's like little photo ops you can do too, and yeah, it is really kind of amazing. How come my little robot didn't... maybe we missed it. The robot's supposed to show me where the vortex is, and I don't remember it kind of doing that around the vortex. That's a little bit of a shame. At least we got everybody, but I wanted... Okay, so the vortexes are really cool too, because they essentially give you these, like, thematically themed worlds for certain franchises, and that's really, really neat too to have those available to you. Because it is like a collectathon, right? You collect those, you collect more Astro Bots, you visit these new fantastical places. It's really quite great. At least I think that level had a vortex. Yeah, it's got a vortex, but I didn't get it. Let's see, that one we got all the vortex stuff. Some of them don't have it. And it's just sort of so cool that you're able to see these places and see these environments and do these crazy things. I think they just did such a wondrous job with the design and everything of Astro Bot. This game is such a beautiful experience. It's so fun. It's a great 3D platformer. I had an awesome time sitting here playing through this, having a lot of fun gathering things, seeing all the different quirks, all the different characters from, again, first party stuff and beyond too. There's really some cool surprise characters. I've got Spyro like, flying around in the backdrop, which is super, super cool, and some others as well, which will definitely, I think, surprise you if you're not kind of anticipating or expecting them. And the whole history of PlayStation, I think, is really beautifully on display in this game, and it's just wild that they were able to achieve this sort of thing with such a sort of newcomer, right? It is sort of hard to fully capture legacy of decades, and they did such a good job hitting every part of it. It's just kind of amazing how much fun this has been to play. How good the content is. It's a good amount of length too, gameplay-wise. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by how much you can kind of do and how much stuff you can see in this one. I really thought this was sort of filled to the brim with content, and I don't think it's necessarily too ridiculous either in regards to actually completing this if you wanted to, which is kind of nice, getting all of the Astro Bots, saving the day, finding all the little secrets here or there. They did a wonderful job with that. Every part of this experience just feels fun and unique and exciting, and the graphical detail and the visuals and the setup and everything like that are just so cool. And there's all these like little secrets and little setups and neat little things to dive into, and surprises. That's the biggest thing, is there's just such a sense of surprise being present. You're never really sure what kind of weird thing is going to happen next, what strange planet you're going to go on, what kind of weird little adventures you'll have. It's just like, it's such a quirky, cozy, cute little thing, and I loved diving in and seeing all these little bits of it. I just kind of blown away, and it's just like it fully uses the PlayStation 5 to its absolute potential, which I think is just absolutely lovely. There's just so much to kind of enjoy and dive into in this one, and I think you'll have such a fun time doing all of these crazy adventures, seeing all these parts of Astro Bot, and just platforming along. As I said, there is some level of difficulty too. Some parts are a little harder than other parts, but I think it is something that all audiences can dive into and have a lot of fun playing and just enjoy all of the immersive parts that no longer feel like gimmicks anymore and feel like fully fleshed out gameplay experiences that you can have a great time exploring and collecting in. And yeah, I really just genuinely loved this game. I think the people behind this definitely had a high level of passion for PlayStation and for making like a really adorable 3D platformer. I love how all the little robots have like the friendliest of faces, and yeah, no, it's just filled to the brim with heart and love. That's the biggest thing. And then on top of that, it is just the most interesting tech demo in terms of being, hey, this level's a water level, this level's a sand level, this level's a snow level with great snow deformation technology. It's just really remarkable what they were able to kind of achieve and pull together. And I think this is going to be one of the more memorable PlayStation 5 games that comes out over the generation. I think this is one of those ones where you're like, wow, this is sort of a 3D platformer with the identity of fully embracing PlayStation 5. And kind of going beyond that. I know we had Sackboy, which was kind of a cool, quirky, lovable kind of game, but yeah, there is something really truly special about this one, I would say for sure. It's just got so much going on and so many little surprises, and every step of the way there's some kind of quirky little weird thing, and I love the boss fights in this. I love the concept and gameplay loop of the bots, and I really don't have too many complaints. It's a pretty perfect 3D platformer. It's always switching things up. Things don't really ever seem to stay the same. Every step of the way has some kind of quirky, weird surprise and hidden secret, and I'm doing a really bad job of saving bots because I have not come across any on this level. And the variety of enemies is nice. It's sort of repetitive enough that you understand how you're supposed to save the different bots, but there's always a little bit of a surprise here or there that I think keeps things fresh and always has you kind of enjoying that next twist. And I really am shocked at just how good of a 3D platformer this is. I hope to see more of Astro Bot. I hope this is well loved and supported and actually gets maybe additional follow-ups and sequels. I'd love to see tons of more Astro Bot because I just think it's such a lovely and delightful time. I had a lot of fun playing the game. Astro Bot's great.